This is a Nova Science Now production. Have you ever wondered about the mysteries of electricity? Like when you rub your socks on the carpet and shock your friend like so. Or like when you take a balloon and it makes your hair stand up. It even works on dogs. Let's hear from two very special guests who are very familiar with electricity. Now we'd like to welcome our first guest. She's a cheerleader at Baird Middle School in a small town in southern Idaho. She is also enhanced with special electric powers. Please welcome Miss Taylor Ridley.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Definitely. So Taylor, I've heard that you have some electric powers. How about you tell us about the very first time you discovered them?
Okay, well, I was little and with my friends we decided to play Wizard. And I was playing Wizard and I cast a spell on my friend and she fell to the ground crying and she said she couldn't remember what happened and I realized I rebooted her.
Oh, it's very interesting. What did you learn from that?
That day I realized that electricity has a huge influence on our brains.
So, Taylor, what exactly is this rebooting thing? What is it? How does it work?
Well, I'm not honestly sure how it works, but somehow if I concentrate really hard, I can scramble the electric nerve signals in people's brain, causing them to forget what they were doing.
That's really interesting. Does it hurt?
Just a little bit, but not as much as it would hurt the person I'm doing it on.
Does it hurt them terribly?
Sometimes when I concentrate really hard.
I see. That's very interesting. Thank you very much for joining us and telling us about your powers. Later, we'll hear from some scientists who will tell us some details about the specifics of her powers. In the meantime, thank you so very much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad to do it again. Electricity!
Now, we'd like to welcome onto the show our next guest. She is a young girl from Southern California who has also been enhanced with special electric powers. Please welcome onto the show Miss Abigail.
Hi! Thanks for having me on the show.
Definitely, we're very happy to have you. Thank you. So, Abigail, tell me some about your electric powers.
Well, I don't really know the science of it, but somehow I can take away pain by stimulating nerve endings.
That's amazing. That defies all things that doctors have ever been able to figure out. Does it put lots of stress and pressure on you, and does it hurt?
It doesn't hurt, but sometimes it can drain my energy if I use it too much.
So do you have to have lots of periods of rest between each time you use it?
Yes, I have to rest between uses because I need to build up my energy before I use it again.
That's fascinating. So Abigail, to use your special electric power, do you have to be touching them for it to work?
Not exactly. I can also send the electric power through metals and other conductors of electricity.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
So Abigail, can you take away your own pain?
You know, I've actually tried to take away my own pain with my powers, but I've learned that I can only take away others' pain.
That's fascinating. Have you helped many other people?
I have.
That must be very beneficial to society.
It is.
Thank you very much for joining us on this show, Abigail.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Definitely, it was a pleasure. We're now going to hear from our scientists about the details of the specifics of these two girls' powers.
Hello!
Hi, it's very nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
So, what have you discovered through your thorough investigation of these two girls?
Well, as I've gone through the scans and what we've discovered about them, these girls have an exceptionally high concentration of electrically charged molecules running through their nervous system. This is what causes their electric powers.
That's fascinating. Have you figured out anything else that's relevant?
Well, there is something you might want to know. Taylor has been hiding a little secret. As I was examining Taylor's most recent CAT scan, I realized something that was prominent in her brain that didn't appear in the others. I will show you on my whiteboard what was discovered in her brain. So this is what the rest of the teenagers' brains look like. This is what Taylor's brain looked like. She had an extra protrusion coming out of her brain that was capable of holding the memories of others. She is not only able to reboot people's minds, but she is able to read their minds.
That's amazing. I think we should probably bring Taylor onto the show again so she can tell us a little bit about her hidden power. We're back here on the show with Miss Taylor Ridley. So Taylor, we've heard that you've been hiding some of your powers.
Well, yes, I have been.
Well, it's not only been your powers, but you've been hiding the ability to read people's minds.
Yeah, I have been. Just because when people know about it, then they get really uncomfortable next to me, so I just keep it a secret.
Well, how does that work?
I have to be touching them or any conductor of electricity to read their mind.
Just as I suspected. Well, according to your most recent CAT scan, not only can you reboot people, but you can also read their minds.
Yeah.
Would you like to give us a demonstration?
No, I don't
Oh,
think I
come
will.
on. Does everyone want to hear her give a demonstration?
Okay, guys, fine. I can do it.
As we conduct this demonstration, I hope you don't mind, but we have hooked a few cords up to you as you test out your ability to reboot and read people's minds. So I hope you don't mind to do that on our subject, do you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Good. Now let's bring in our next subject as she prepares to read his mind.
Just gonna hold this box just naturally. There you go.
You're thinking about your plans for tonight.
What am I gonna do tonight?
You're going to go to your friends and watch a movie.
Yup.
Now she will demonstrate rebooting his mind.
What the heck? Where am I?
Now that, folks, is a reboot for y'all.
Thank you very much for joining me on this show.
It's been a pleasure.
This has been another episode of Nova Science Now.